Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I have made a video here on YouTube. So many things have been going on with life, but I am here, and honestly I've been reading a lot and also buying a lot of books. So welcome to today's video. We are going to be sharing basically all the books I've bought since for March, April, and May. So we got like a 3-month book haul here. I have a lot of books here. These are in no particular order. I am just sharing with you guys all the books I've accumulated since March because I was kind of going crazy and buying a lot of books like each month. And yeah, I think I have a problem, but I guess it's a good problem to have. So let's go ahead and hop into the video. I'm gonna go ahead and clip this on me, so hopefully the audio is still good. Like I said, this is in no particular order, but here we go. First up, we have Blood and Roses by Callie Hart. This is volume 1, and then there's gonna be a volume 2, I believe, that comes out in January of next year, I believe. But this is basically like 3, I think, books in like 1, and then I think there's like another 3 or 2 in the next. This is her dark romance. This is not her fantasy, her romantasy. This is a dark romance, so check your trigger warnings. I think a lot of people forget that she has other books. Like Quicksilver is pretty much kind of like one of her first like biggest fantasies, because for some reason a lot of people were picking this up thinking that they were going to get like fantasy out of it, but this is not fantasy, this is dark romance. So yeah, so I got Blood and Roses by Callie Hart. She wrote Quicksilver and Brimstone. I also got Sovereign by Rhea Morris Edwards. This is a dark cowboy romance. Look at that. So check your trigger warnings. Check your trigger warnings. I have been very interested in reading cowboy romance, or like romance, like Western style type of romances, because I don't typically read a lot of like contemporary romances. Like I mostly read like dark. But I'm not fully like trying to like get out of reading my dark, but I still want like to read like tropes that are like cowboy and like, you know, like hockey and all this other stuff, but it's okay for it to be dark. And so I was like, hey, I saw this and I was like, yep, I think I got to get it. So this is Sovereign, a dark cowboy romance by Rhea, I believe that's how you say her name, Morris Edward. Like I said, check your trigger warnings. This is only the first book in like, I think it's a 5-book series, or going to be a 5-book series. So yeah, but that's a dark cowboy romance. Next up, I have Behind Closed Doors by Shane Rose. I think that's how you say her name. I don't know. I'm not really sure what this is about. I know it has like a single dad. And see, I don't typically read those either, but I know there's like a single dad or something, and he's like part of something, and like then there's gonna be like this teacher that is helping his daughter or something, and then like there's some type of love story that goes on between the teacher that is like, I guess like helping his child during the summer or something. I don't know. Some type of like mafia-esque type things. I don't know. But anyway, this seems really good, so I went ahead and picked this up. I know there is going to be a second book in the series that also comes out this year. But yeah, I also picked up Behind Closed Doors by Shane Rose. And that is what it's looking like. Oh, and let me show you like the artwork. Isn't that pretty? Yes. Next up, we have Of Ink and Alchemy by Salome Saint Germain. That's what this looks like. I mean, you guys may or may not know if you've been here for a little bit or you've come from one of my old channels that I had. I am like an artist. I'm a sucker for art. That is kind of like why I love buying like special editions that have artwork in them and stuff, because I love art. And I just love a good pinup girl. Like, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Like, there is something about this art style that I've always really loved. But yeah, so look at that. That's so cute. But all I know about this is like it's about like a tattoo artist, like 2 tattoo artists. So basically, I think the girl's like dad like leaves the, like, I don't know if he's retired or what is happening, but he leaves the business, I guess, to, to one of the other like guys or something, but the guy is in love with his daughter. I don't know, something like that. All I know is it's got to do with tattoos, and I'm here for it. Never read like a tattoo type, like romance type situation. And yeah, I believe this is kind of dark too, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I mean, it has a content warning list. So they're friends to lovers. So they were friends, I guess. Yeah. So there's some kind of dark things. So check your trigger warnings on this. Seems like I'm just starting out the gate with like some stuff that's a little dark, okay? But yeah, Of Ink and Alchemy by Salome Saint Germain. Oh, I just love the cover. And then the edges are really pretty too. Next up, we have Dove by Paisley Hope. And that's what this one looks like. I know this is like a motorcycle gang. This is actually the second book in this series. This is the first one. So we have Wolf by Paisley Hope. This is book 1. Dove is book 2. And I think book 3 comes out in July. I think it's July 14th, actually, the day before my birthday. So I'm really excited. Can't wait to get those. But I did pick these up. All I know is that it's like motorcycle gang related. I've never read like motorcycle gang. But yeah, so suspenseful. Got it going on, but that's what we got here. Like I said, I'm pretty much starting off with all like suspenseful, dark type of stuff here. Not on purpose, just that's how it is. I also have Bulletproof by K.M. Moranova. If you guys know, you know I have quite a bit of her books. She is the author of Leave Me Behind and My Blade, You're Back. Something like that, that duet or whatever. And she does a lot of dark military type romances, bully military type romance things. So I got this one as well. And as we know, she also does a lot of the art work herself as an author. So this is her artwork on there. And of course, you know, there's artwork inside. Like, look at that. So pretty. I think there's more. Oh, yeah. And there's more. And then there's more. Like, I just love that. More. Like, so pretty. And yes, like I said, this is also dark. Check your trigger warnings. I do believe it is, like I said, a military bully type romance. So check your trigger warnings. Yeah. Let's move on. Okay. Then I got Lady of Darkness. This is book 1 in the Lady of Darkness, I guess, series by Melissa K. Rorick. I have not purchased the rest of the books. I mean, this is a completed series. I believe it's 5 books and 2 like novellas or so. All I know is this has to do with some assassin, some lady. I think it's some lady assassins. I think that's what we got going on in this series. I don't know. I just be picking up books. But the only reason why I really picked this up is because I also picked up the first book in the Legacy series, which is her next series. in her chaos universe, because she has like this whole universe that she's writing. I think it's going to be something like 9 series or something wild like that. Like they're all kind of set in the same universe, and this one is like the first in that universe, this series. And then like I said, I picked up the next one, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. But yeah, so I got the first book in this. And hopefully I will get the rest of them soon, or at least sometime this year I will continue to get the rest of it so I can have the whole collection. Some of these books y'all can see me pulling them out. But yeah, and then I also have City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards, a House of Devils series. And that is what this one looks like. These have gotten picked up by a traditional publisher, so they are being re-released. So I do have the re-release version. The indie versions look very similar to this. I think just like paper is more floppier, and like it's small little changes. Like the inside has beautiful artwork. Like look at that. Like beautiful artwork. I think that's like one of the main differences about this version. The published version. Because other than that, it pretty much looks the same. Maybe the size is slightly different. But yeah, so I have book 1, and I already have book 2 pre-ordered whenever that's coming out. I believe it's coming out in July as well. So I'm going to have a good birthday month because my birthday is in July. So I have that I picked up. Like I said, these are all from May, June, and July. Now, I can't remember every like month of which I bought which one, but you know what? We going with it. I also picked up, which some of these you can see on my Instagram. I will put that somewhere if you don't follow me over on Instagram. But I have Spellcaster by Jaymin Eve. That is what this looks like. It's so pretty. Pretty edges. I actually bought this secondhand from someone. Do I know what it's really about? No. A 22-year-old girl, I guess. She finally gets her magic, and yeah. That's about all I know. Like I said, I like to go into my books as blind as possible. And because I'm running through so many books, I am not really going like deep dive in what they're all about, because we'll be here all day and I don't have all day. So let me try and put these actually in order. Then we have Rejected, which is part of the Shadow and Beast Shifter series, which is also by Jaymin Eve. Sorry, the lighting is changing. I'm using natural lighting and this, and it's doing it whatever it wants to do. So sorry about that. But we just gonna keep on going. But anyway, so we have Rejected, which is the first book in the Shadow Beast Shifter series by Jaymin Eve. And like I said, this is book 1. Then we have Reclaimed, which is book 2 in that series. That's what that one looks like. And then we have Reborn, which is book 3. These are a little bit tricky because like the first 3 books in this series, I think followed like the same like people. But then I think like the next 3 books, which aren't traditionally published yet, because these have been re-released because they were indie published first. I haven't seen anything about the rest of the series being picked up, so it's kind of weird. It's like the first 3 books are picked up, but I don't know if the last 3 are. But like I think the last 3 follow individual like people or couples or whatever. But basically this is a Rejected Mates, which haven't really read that before, so I was really excited to pick up something like that, because I was on a mate kick when I picked this up. After I read Bride and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I was like, I need some more wolves in my life. So that's why I picked these up. Yeah, I believe I got the first two in March and I got the last one in April. Because I know because this one was a release in April. So I do know I got this one in April. But yeah, so there's those. These are, you know, like I said, by the same author. But yeah, super exciting. There's that. What? Oh, can't forget about this one. I'm actually currently reading this in the month of June. This is To Snap a Silver Stem by Sarah A. Parker. This is the second book in the series To Bleed a Crystal Bloom, which is the first one, which y'all seen this in one of my other videos. I did read this already. I read this, I believe, in the month of May. Loved it. Gave this, what, I think like a 4.5 stars. Like at first I think I gave it 4, and then after sitting with my thoughts for a while, I was like, no, 4.5 for sure. And this one is looking like it might be a 5, but there is something beautiful about this woman's writing. But yes, this is Sarah A. Parker, the one who wrote When the Moon Hatch and the something of the Ballad Fallen or something. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. But we'll see, because, yeah, I have that one too. But, yeah, look, the pretty edges. And then we got some beautiful artwork in there. But, yeah. And two, you're still trying to figure out what is really going on, but in the most beautiful way. This woman's writing is, like, really doing something to my brain. But yeah, so I got that. What else do I go on? Okay, actually we're close to being done. Next up, I'm just gonna get all 3 of these here. I got the Bourbon Boys. So I have Bourbon and Lies. I have Bourbon and Secrets. I have Bourbon and Proof by Victoria Wilder. And oh my gosh, these are like suspenseful Western cowboy-esque, like it's in that world. Sorta. It's kind of hard to explain, but they're very suspenseful, so still check your triggers, because like I said, they're suspenseful. They're not really dark, I would say, but you know, some things happen, so it's a little suspense, okay? But we have Bourbon and Lies. These men like their whiskey and they like their women, okay? That's all I gotta say. I have read the first book, haven't read the rest, but I did buy these, and these are amazing. This is like my first time reading something like this, and I really enjoy them. So, like I said, I have Bourbon and Lies, Bourbon and Secrets, Bourbon and Proof. Like this artwork. This is actually the same artist, I believe, that also did... Oh, I think it's the same artist that did this, I believe, Wolf and Dove, and I think even this one, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's by the same artist. I could be totally wrong, and I'm sorry if I am, but I do... Yes, the artist who did this cover also did these covers. The artist, not the author, artist. Okay. So that is that. And then I also recently picked up No Fear by Tate James. I've heard that this is the Why Choose Queen over here. I actually have never really read a Why Choose unless you include like Satan's Affair by H.G. Carlton, with Sibby and her little men or whatever. And I'm not going to give any more away to that because, yeah, that would be telling the plot. But, like, other than that, I have never actually read a Why Choose. And so, basically, I do kind of know what this one is about. So, it's basically a girl that, like, kind of infiltrates this, like, social media, like, app type thing with a bunch of boys. She pretends types of stunts and different things like that. And basically she's like infiltrating their system to, like, she's pretending to be a boy, be in that world. And I'm pretty sure they're going to find out that she's not a boy. Well, and a man, I mean, she's not a man. And, like, it's going to be a whole situation. But that is pretty much what I know about that. At least that part. But, yeah, so, and I think she's going to end up with either all of them or some of them or something. Who knows? But I'm really actually excited to read this. It sounds so good, especially using, like, that social media aspect. Kind of like maybe will feel like a reality TV type situation. And then the fact that she is, like, pretending to be a man. I eat that up. I don't know. There's something about when a woman is, like, stepping into, like, a manly type situation and being like, beep, I can do this thing. And, like, people don't know, and then they eventually find out, and it's like, yeah, she did that. So I'm really excited to read this. Now, I'm actually going to get into my hardcover books now. First up, we have Star Chaser by R.M. Gray. This is the second book from Nightweaver. I do know that it's about pirates because I did read the first book back in January, so you have seen this one here on my channel. But this is the second book. There is a third book that will be coming out this year that's in this series. But yeah, so this is just a continuation. It is YA. And it's actually very good. I love the edges. They're really pretty. The casing on this is really pretty. The colors, like, just look at that, pretty. But anyway, that is another book that I picked up. We have a lots of books. A lot of books. Okay. I know, so many. You just keep seeing them pop out. They're popping out, they're showing out. Okay. So, first up, we have the Gods and Monster Book 2 by Amber V. Nicole. This is the second book. The first book is The Book of Azrael. I have shown this on here before, but this is the first book. But yeah, so this is the second book. I got this in April when it released. But that is the edges. Here is the inside artwork. Yes. Okay. And then there's also artwork on the back here. My only complaint about this one is that it's too dark. Like, I wish it would have just was, like, slightly, like, a tad bit lighter. So that you could, like, really see the art just a little bit better. But they're beautiful, beautiful additions. So, have not read this series at all. So, but, you know, still, I committed to getting the hardcovers deluxe editions. So that's first up. And then, oh my gosh, Then we have Direbound by Sable Sorensen, which these are actually 2 authors, not one person, they're 2 people. I think they're like best friends that decide to write together or something like that. I know this has direwolves in them, and honestly, I mean they're pretty similar. It's just like wolves, but I've never read anything like that with direwolves. And I know a lot of people compare this to like Fourth Wing, but make it wolves. I don't know. Honestly, I don't like when people do that, to be honest. I mean, I know that's what people are saying, but like I want my books to stand out on their own. So, but that's what a lot of people are saying. I don't know how true that is or what, but yeah, this is the first book in the Direbound, the Wolves of Ruin novel. So that's the name of the series, The Wolves of Ruin. But that's this. It's so pretty. Like, look at those edges. The artwork. So beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful. So yeah, so that's the first book. Like, just beautiful. So hopefully I like it. Haven't read it. I also picked up the second book in that series, which is Furybound by, obviously, Sable Sorensen. A Wolves and Ruins book number 2. And that is what it looks like. Look at those edges. Oh, now this artwork is too freaking die for. Like, look at that. So pretty. So pretty. Okay. And then here's the back. Like, pretty. Just pretty. So, my only complaint about this book, because I have my complaints, is that it is definitely cheaper materials of how it's made. It feels different than this one. It actually is different because that one says made in China and this one says the US. I hate when that happens because I always feel like the material of the actual book is different, and it definitely is. But either way, we still like the book. Can't wait to read them. I hope they're great. I've heard a lot of good things about this one, some mixed things about this one, but we'll see. So, got that. I also have in the Legacy series by Melissa K. Rorick, Reign of Shadows and Endings. I was literally kind of just talking about this book. But I got this book. You can't really tell too much from that cover. But this is the series, not the next book, but the series that comes after this series. Obviously, you could read it in whatever order you want. The author has said that always, you know. However the author writes it or whatever the author says is kind of like, okay, well, you know your art better than anybody. So, you know, she said it doesn't matter how, in what order you read them in. But I know that this series comes first and then this series. So that's the reason why I went ahead and picked up this, because I had already gotten this book and, well, had already pre-ordered it. So I was like, well, I do want to read this series too. So that is why I have that. But yeah, and I already have the next book coming at the end of June because I'm filming this in June. But yeah, so that's that book. And then last but not least, definitely not least, we have The Ballad of Falling Dragons by Sarah A. Parker. Yes, I was literally just talking about this. So, this is the second book from When the Moon Hatched, which I have right here. Miss Thickums right here. But this is the second book. I really hope that they redo the book to match with this one. Because I hate having that in paperback like that, and then this one in hardcover. I know that they did have a hardcover deluxe edition for When the Moon Hatched, but it was just like with the blue edges, and yeah, I couldn't get my hands on that, and I wasn't even about to, because I'm like, no, it doesn't match with these. So I'm hoping at some point later on we can get a matching When the Moon Hatched that looks like it matches with this. But yes, Sarah A. Parker, we're speaking about my girl again. I don't know what it is about this woman's writing. It's like crack. I'm reading and I'm just like, this is just so beautiful. Her writing is kind of lyrical. I know people have their things where they're like, oh, it's boring, or oh, you know, da da da, like. But to me, I'm like, her writing is poetic. It's lyrical. I like her world building, like the complexity. I like that, and I don't know if this is like a strategy of hers, but I like that, like how she starts off her books in a series where it's like, you know, you're mostly maybe just getting like the main two people's like point of view. And then by the second book, you're getting like all these other characters that were also in the first book, and you're getting to see their ins and outs and what they're thinking too. But it's not like overdone where you're getting like 50 million people talking and you're like, wait. I can't like grasp the story because every time it's jumping to a different person. It's not like that. I don't know how she does it, but it's beautiful and I like it. And I can't wait to read more by Sarah A. Parker. I can't wait to read this series because I have not read it yet. But yeah, this is The Ballad of Fallen Dragons by Sarah A. Parker. It is a deluxe edition, and here's what this is looking like. It's got the same artwork in the back, but isn't it pretty? And with its nice little pretty sprayed edges. But yes, I believe that's all the books that I bought in the month of March, April, and May. If you like this video, you know what to do. And I'm hoping to start coming back a little bit more consistently. I'm still going through a lot of things in my personal life, so I might not show up as much as I would like to. But yeah, this is going to be a long-winded video, so I hope that you're still here to the end, because if you do, you are the real ones. But yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.